Have you ever just watched one of those giant wind turbines turning, almost silently, and wondered, how does that actually work? Well, today, we're going to break down the absolutely brilliant aerodynamics that make it all happen. We're going to focus on the core ideas, not the crazy math, to see how they harness the wind so efficiently. And that really is a fantastic question. I mean, that elegant, twisting profile, it's not just for looks. It is a masterful piece of engineering, designed from the ground up to solve a very specific and very cool physics puzzle. So here's how we're going to solve that puzzle together, piece by piece. First, we'll look at the fundamental force that gets them spinning. Then, we'll figure out the unique wind they actually face. After that, we'll uncover the real reason for that iconic twist. And finally, we'll see how they manage the total chaos of real-world weather. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so to kick things off, we've got to get our heads around the fundamental force that makes these turbines so incredibly powerful. You see, it all comes down to a choice between two different ways of using the wind, and let me tell you, engineers definitely chose the more efficient one. Think about an old-timey windmill, you know, the ones on a farm, or even a simple cup anemometer that measures wind speed. They're what we call drag-based devices. The wind just pushes them. It's simple. But modern turbines? Oh, they play a totally different game. They're lift-based. So instead of being pushed, they use this amazing aerodynamic force that actually pulls them around, a lot like an airplane wing. Yeah, a wind turbine blade isn't just one big, solid shape. It's way smarter than that. It's more like a whole series of individual airplane wings, or airfoils, that have been stacked and blended together perfectly. Every single cross-section is shaped to slice through the air and create that powerful lifting force. And that brings us to a concept that is absolutely critical. Seriously, this is the key to everything that follows, the angle of attack. All it is the angle between the airfoil's chord line and the direction of the wind that's coming at it. Getting this angle just right, well, that's the secret to unlocking the blade's power. You see, it's all about finding that perfect sweet spot, a Goldilocks zone, if you will. If the angle is too small, you get no power. But if it gets too large, the airflow actually separates from the surface of the blade. That's a process called stall, and you lose almost all your lift, just like that. So the whole goal is to keep that angle in the perfect range for maximum energy. Okay, so we've got the basics down. Lift, angle of attack, check. But here's where the puzzle starts to get really interesting. See, the blade isn't just sitting still in the wind. Nope, it's also moving, and that fundamentally changes the wind it actually feels. So let's start with the obvious part, right? You've got the natural wind, the one that's just blowing across the landscape because of the weather. In aerodynamics, we call this the free stream velocity, and it's coming straight at the front of the turbine. But at the same time, that blade is spinning, and spinning fast. That motion creates its very own wind component, one that's moving parallel to the rotor. You can almost think of it as the wind you'd feel if you were riding on the blade itself, going round and round. And here is the absolute kicker, the most important part of this whole thing. The blade doesn't feel those two winds separately. It only feels their combined effect. And we call this the relative wind. This is the wind that actually matters. This is the wind that the airfoils sees and uses to generate lift. So how does this whole idea of relative wind explain that crazy, iconic twist in the blade? Well, believe it or not, it's the direct reason for it. Let's break it down. Just think about a record spinning on a turntable, right? A point on the outer edge is zipping along, covering a huge distance with every rotation. But a point near the center is barely moving at all. It's the exact same idea for a turbine blade. The tip is traveling at an incredibly high speed, while the root, down by the hub, is moving much, much more slowly. And because of that massive difference in speed from the root to the tip, the angle of that relative wind we just talked about, it also changes continuously. Out near the fast-moving tip, the wind seems to come mostly from the side, but down near the slow-moving root, the wind seems to come much more from the front. And this is the solution. This is the big reveal. To keep that all-important angle of attack in the sweet spot all the way along the blade itself has to be physically twisted. It needs a really big twist down near the slow-moving root and a much, much smaller twist way out at the fast-moving tip. And that's it. That's the whole magic trick. The twist is the beautiful, elegant engineering solution that makes sure every single section of that blade, from the very bottom to the very top, is working at its absolute peak aerodynamic efficiency. It's just brilliant. All right, but we're not done yet. There's one final piece to this puzzle, and it's a big one. The real world is messy. Wind speed isn't constant. It gusts, it changes, it's chaotic. So how does a turbine handle all of that? So imagine a huge gust of wind suddenly hits the turbine. What happens? Well, that change in the natural wind speed completely messes up the angle of our relative wind. It can suddenly push that angle of attack way up into the danger zone, risking a stall, which means a sudden loss of power or even damage to the blade. So how do they solve this? Well, modern turbines have this really smart two-stage control system. When the winds are low or moderate, they just adjust the rotational speed of the rotor itself to compensate. But when the winds get really strong, they switch over to a much more powerful and direct method. This is where the real-time magic happens. The turbine can actually rotate the entire blade on its own axis. We call this changing its pitch. This lets it fine-tune the angle of attack on the fly, second by second, keeping it right in that perfect sweet spot no matter what the wind is doing. So let's just pull all of that together, shall we? A wind turbine's incredible efficiency really comes from this perfect dance between design and control. It's all about harnessing the incredible power of lift. It's shaped specifically for the relative wind it actually sees. That beautiful twist optimizes the angle of attack from root to tip, and a super intelligent control system lets it master the chaos of the real world. It really is a perfect example of form following function, isn't it? And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What other complex engineering designs all around us, from the dimples on a golf ball to the frame of a bicycle, are hiding that same level of elegant, brilliant solutions, right there in plain sight?